All of these examples are taken from Surah Mulk, and we may not cover all the different forms that you'll see in the whole Quran, but you'll get a fairly good understanding through these examples, okay? So the first one is, it's not too difficult, okay? It's exactly kind of, it's this one here, isn't it? So you can see, okay? So we're looking at this Kaaf here, okay? This Kaaf here, and then this one here, okay? So that's fairly simple, okay? Um, okay, then you've got this one, again, it's at the end, okay? And it's this one here. Okay, so again, it's fairly simple, and you can see this thing, the tail. Sorry, I shouldn't call it a thing, but this tail here. It's not so flat, but it joins kind of to the lam. So look, this is the lam here, and then this is the calf. So what I always say in my classes is it's difficult to know this, whether it's supposed to be really part of the letter before or letter there. That's why I tend to just ignore them and just say that this is what you're looking for here. Okay. But that one again is not too difficult, okay? And I've put them side by side so that you can see the shapes, which are this one here, oops, and this one there, okay? And they're fairly similar, okay? Let's move on. Okay, now this is one which is a bit difficult, but this is one of those kind of high frequency words. So you'll see this again and again, and once you learn it, you'll know it. And if you join one of our high frequency or bridge courses, which again they're all free, we actually do go through the high frequency words as well, but those ones are for people who already can read. Okay, um, so if you've kind of done the letters and all of the symbols, you've gone through the qaida, and you're not kind of confident enough to move on to the Quran just yet, and you want to go through some of the words, then that course is helpful. And again, I'll put the Instagram and the links in the description of the video. You can contact us through those, but most of our courses are for sisters, so, and some for children. Okay, so if your children are struggling, then get in touch if you're struggling, but they are mostly for women. Okay, all right, let's just quickly move on now. Okay, so this is, how can we kind of understand this? So you've got this straight line here. Okay, that one there. Okay, so you've got the straight line there. Okay, that's it there. Okay, so you've got that straight line here or here. Okay, it's kind of the same really. Okay, but we'll probably not use this one because you can see this thing here, the tail that joins. Okay, this is not joining. Okay, this is at the beginning, so we're looking for this one here. Okay, so you've got that there. Okay, and then you've got let's pick a different color. So then you've got this part here, which kind of comes across there, and that's that part there. Okay, yeah, and then you've got another color, and then it kind of goes like that, doesn't it? Okay, and it kind of goes like that. There you go. So that's what we're looking for. Okay, but it almost looked like an upside down R. Okay, and that's then you've got the lamb there. Okay, so that's what really it looks like. But you can kind of see that it's this, and then it's kind of joined a bit like that. Okay, so if you wanted to kind of understand what shape it is, it's this shape here. Okay, but let's move on. It's the same thing, but because obviously now it's joined to a different letter, it's joined to a meme. So you've got that same again, you've got this part, okay? And again, we're looking at this one and not this one because it's not joined, okay? So again, look, this is in the middle of the word, okay? In the middle of the word, okay? So you would think that you would need this one here because it's going to join to something, but this letter woe doesn't join. Okay, so this is what I always say in my classes, that some letters don't join, okay, at this side, okay. So woe is one of them. And because it doesn't join, you use kind of that starting form, okay. So let's clear this up a bit, and then let's try and see if we can understand the shape of this letter, okay. So you've got that there, okay. And you've got, this thing here, okay. So that's that there. Yeah, and look, it's slightly longer, so we can make ours slightly longer as well. Okay, and then you've got, it should be easier now. You could probably do this by yourself, but I'm going to go through each one. Okay, then you've got that one there, and again it's there. Okay, And then finally, the bottom part is very, very, very small. Okay, it's just there. Okay, and I mean, you could say it's all of that if you wanted to. Okay, so again, it's that one there. Okay, yep. So that's your calf there, and it's joined to the meme. Okay, let's move down. Again, it's the same one, really. It's the same as that. Okay, so I don't think we need to repeat that one. It does look slightly different, although it's joined to a meme. But bring them together. Um, Possibly it's just the way that it's written. This one you can see it's a bit more kind of taller. This one tends to be a bit flatter. That's just the way it is. It's exactly the same thing, really. Again, you've got the beginning calf. Okay, and again, we're looking at this one here. And yep, you've got that there. It's long. Okay, that's the first part. Okay, and then you've got this one there. Okay, and then you've got the green one. Okay, so then you've got this one. Okay, okay, so that's that one there. Okay, again, this is very similar to what we saw at the beginning, and it's this one here. And the only thing I want to point out is the kind of the tail there, which again, this is also a ya. Okay, so we haven't done ya yet, but you know, you've got your ya, and then you've got your calf. Okay, and then they're kind of joined by that line there. Um, it's like that. Okay, that's fine. Okay, then you've got this calf here. Okay, that's what we're looking for, and again, it's the same. Okay, so you should hopefully find it easier. One, okay, two, and then curved around. Okay, and this is probably more similar. Okay, this is one of the high frequency words as well, so we'll be covering that in our bridge course. Okay, then again, you've got that same. If I show you them there again, so that's the one which we saw earlier when it was joined to the lam. Okay, so this is an alif. Okay, and let's do this one slowly. Okay, because this one is a little bit different to the examples we see here. So again, you've got that straight line there. Okay, straight line there, and it's long. Okay, then you've got coming down here. Yep. Okay, and then you've got like the green. Okay. So you've got this coming here. Okay, and this is curved. Okay, and this is kind of flat, but we can make ours curved. Okay, there. Okay, and let's make him a bit more curved. Okay, because we want to somehow get a leaf there. Okay, and I think we're just going to have to. That's your leaf there. Okay, and a leaf joins to the right, if you remember. So we'll join our a leaf to the right, and obviously it's not joined completely, but we'll just make it joined. Okay. But that's it really. And again, like I said, it looks like an upside down R to me. Okay. This is exactly the same, but the only difference is that you've got the the lam. Okay. So what you're seeing here is your lam. Okay. That's I think the thing that I need to point out. That shape there is still the same. Okay. That's still the same. And it's probably more kind of like that actually. Okay. But this is your lam, and this is kind of good one to understand the differences between a lam and a calf. Okay, so in our class, we did talk about in the Hamza class, and the video is there. But you can see that, in the Hamza class, we were kind of talking about how you could tell the difference between an alif and a lam, and we said like the alif is joined to the right. In the Quran that we're using, which is recitequran.com, I think. I'm going to put the link in the description for you, but this is joined to the right, and then you've got this one joining to the left, which is the lam. Okay, so this line here is not really part of the curve. This is part of the lam. Okay, we haven't done lam yet in our classes. We will get to it. Okay, right. Let's move on. Same one again. It's exactly the same. Okay, it's this one here. And you can pause the video. No, actually, it's not this one. It's this one here. Okay, so this one. Let's have a quick look at it. But you could pause this first of all. Pause this and see if you can kind of work out the other parts. Okay. but I'm not going to repeat the other parts. You've got that long part there, which is there. You've got the straight line coming down, and then you've got the shape. So this shape actually looks a lot more like this, okay? But the thing I want to point out is this part here, okay? This, okay? Which joins it to the ta, okay? So that's that bit there, okay? And then you've got the ta, okay? So that's why, these additional lines are quite confusing because, what exactly are they a part of, okay? Sometimes it's not clear until you see them in the word, okay? So it's there, okay? The ta, okay? So again, it's this shape here, okay, which is this shape really. That's the shape that you're looking for, okay? So if we kind of draw it on with I don't know if we can get the yellow, but let's make it big and see if we can kind of draw it on, okay? So you've got this shape here. Let's have a look. Yeah, so that's your calf, okay? So that's the shape we're looking for. Again, you've got the same again. So let's draw on the calf first of all, okay? Okay, there. And we could make him long because that's kind of what we're looking for. But obviously because it joins onto the dal, so it kind of goes up. So that's how, you'll have these minor variations, okay? And then let's get a blue, okay? And talk about this thing here, which is here. And then they've kind of done two parts. So they've done the going down and they've done the going across. But you can see how the going across part is actually part of the far, okay? So again, just take a moment and do this yourself as well. But you can see that the basic shape, which is that one, is this, okay? But obviously it curves up a bit there, and you've got the joining part from this part here, and then this kind of goes there. So that's that, okay? And I think this was quite easy. Okay, so I'll let you have a look at this and look at this, and then tell me which one it is. And hopefully you've spotted that it's this one here. Again, this is very small, okay, and it's joined to the bar, so it kind of goes up like this and then goes like that, okay. And then obviously there's the other letters, okay. Um, Again, so when it's joined to the noon, okay, in both cases joined to the noon, but again it's this one here, okay. And we'll just draw it. So you've got the top part and going across part the same. It's just this part here, okay. So it kind of goes a bit more like that, okay. That's what we're looking for, okay. And there you go. And then this is the last one, okay. And this is this this kind of looks very different to this, but this shape also needs to be discussed because you will see this quite a lot, okay. You will see this quite a lot, okay. So it looks again like this shape here, and indeed it is supposed to be this shape, okay. And it is. It's just kind of a fancy way, I guess you could say, of writing it, okay. So you've got, and again, it kind of looks like the shape which is there, but anyway, let's see if we can understand it. So you've got that, that's that part there, okay? But this is long, okay? And this one you can see compared to the bottom part is short, okay? But it's still a curve, okay? And you'll see this time and time again. So it's new to you now, but you'll see it again and again. But letters that people get mixed up with, I'm not sure if they get mixed up with this in alarm, but anyhow, let's just move on. Okay, so then you've got this, okay, and that's that part there. But obviously it's very exaggerated, it's very long, it's kind of coming all the way back there. Okay, so let's make ours long as well, okay? Okay. And then you've got this one here, okay, this part here, okay. So that's the part there, okay. So it's kind of like that, okay. Can't really see it because it's blue, but anyway, you can kind of get what I'm trying to explain. It's like this, okay. So it is basically the same shape, okay, but it's slightly exaggerated. Um, okay, I'm gonna just stop the recording and yeah, just look at the other videos, and sisters, get in touch with us, whether you're a new Muslim or you're somebody interested in Islam, you've got questions, or you're a Muslim who's just struggling with the Quran, your children are struggling. Just get in touch with us, please. You can go to our website, the WhatsApp link is there. You can go to the Instagram, I don't check the YouTube comments that much, but you can kind of leave a comment and hopefully I'll see it. I think that's it. Yep. Okay. And yes, all the courses are free.